Hi everybody. We are very happy this week. Well, we are very happy every week, but this week in particular, we really would like to thank all people who have been joining us in the podcast. For that purpose, I am going to be sharing something with you on the screen. You will see me moving more around the camera. Please excuse me for that. I have changed the layout of this studio, so it's now more difficult than it was before. But this time, we really would like to thank from the bottom of our hearts to all people who have been following us for the past months through the good number of podcast platforms that we are sharing our program in. I was sharing with Katia that it's come to us with a great, an amazing surprise that really without paying no promotion at all. There is a good number of countries already that are following us in the podcasts. And as we see the beautiful flags on the screen of all those countries, please allow me to share with you which countries these are. Please let's start thanking the United States, the United Kingdom, the Russian Federation, Brazil, Canada, Iran, the Netherlands, Sweden, Malaysia, Norway, Thailand, La France, Austria, Nigeria, the Philippines, Germany, and Indonesia. Really, from the bottom of our hearts, we really would like to thank you for having been following us for the past 4 months that we recently started. And Katia, would you like to share something else about this deep appreciation from us?
Sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and supporting our music. And I would like to promise that probably next program we will be singing something to show this gratefulness, this gratitude, and we hope you enjoy it.
And just as a hint to people who are listening to us, people in YouTube who watch the program live as it is transmitted, we are sharing on the screen all the flags of all these countries that I just mentioned throughout this message of appreciation. Please, people in the podcast, place in your minds that we are sharing the flag of your country. Thank you very much. You know, the most important thing for an artist is the love and appreciation of the audience, and this is what we are feeling today. Okay, so with that being said, we would like to move on today because for us today is a very special day. We are continuing with music not only from Mexico and Latin America, but now we are focusing more in Mexico. Mexico, well, you know already, we are Mexicans. We are so very proud of being Mexicans. And there is so much that we have in the music that we learned from our parents or the early music that we heard when we were just learning music. And I will be sharing with you, you will be seeing throughout the whole program a good number of photos of Mexico because let me tell you something, Mexico is many Mexicos. There is the beauty of the north of the country, the beauty of the south and the southwest, the amazingly beautiful places in central Mexico. We have so many mountains, we have volcanoes, we have reminiscence of those archaeological sites. We also have reminiscence of the times of the Spanish conquest of our country. So there's a good number of things that we really feel very proud about and that we will be sharing with you with the music of Mexico. Contrary or a little more, I would say, more known music, not that folklore as we shared in the 2 programs ago. And most of the composers you will be familiar with because tenors like Placido Domingo, José Carreras, Alfredo Kraus, Giuseppe Di Stefano, and many others have brought to their concerts and recitals as well. bringing the beauty of that music to many other countries as they had representations. And it is going to be my turn to start opening with the first song. But before we jump to that first song, Katia, what would you like to say as an introduction to our program today?
I think that it's a very special program because we are sharing music that has been part of our lives since several years ago. This is music that shows landscapes from our great and beautiful country, and we are privileged uh, for being Mexicans. So this is from Mexico to the world, and I really hope that it's a good experience and a good program for everyone.
And our first song, unfortunately, is not going to be a happy song. It's going to be a song that I have talked about in the past. It's going to be Borachita. Borachita is a way to refer to a woman, a diminutive way of calling a woman who is drunk. And the melody is somehow very sad. And I remember that a good number of years ago, in the recital of one of the Mexican sopranos, I'm not really sure who she was. I recall that she said she was about to sing Borrachita, and most of the audience were elders already. They were what we call in Mexico our dear ancianitos. They were viejitos. So I'm pretty sure they grew or they were young when this song was very popular back then. And I remember that many of them even started crying when the first notes of these songs were played by the piano. This song is sad because it doesn't tell the story of a woman who gets drunk just because she wants to get drunk. We have talked about in the past that we had our haciendas where the land, the owners of all the land, the caciques in fact, who owned not only the land but the lives of the people who worked for him. And this is the case. This is the case of the derecho de pernada in Mexico, which means that that owner, that cacique, the owner of the land, had the right to have sex with whoever he wanted in his possession. So the borrachita is very sad because she has been called to join the Lord in Mexico, for that purpose. When she says that she invited her boyfriend to go with her, he said, "No, I am not going with you. Why should I be going with you when we will all find sadness and nothing but sadness?" Please, I hope you enjoy this very beautiful song, and please try to picture in your minds the immense happiness that this song brought to those lovely old people who were in that concert that day. Borrachita me voy para olvidarle, le quiero manchar, también me quiere. Borrachita me voy hasta la capital para servir al patrón que me mandó llamar anteayer. Borachita me voy hasta la capital para servir al patrón que me mandó llamar anteayer. Yo le quise traer, dijo que no, que se había de llorar, ¿pa' qué volver? Borachita me voy hasta la capital para servir al patrón que me mandó llamar anteayer. Yo le quise traer, dijo que no, que se había de llorar, ¿pa' qué volver? Borachita me voy hasta la capital para servir al patrón que me mandó llamar anteayer. So this is a very beautiful song by Maestro Tata Nacho. He was called in a lovely personal way Tata Nacho. Tata makes reference to the grandfather. So in a lovely way he was called Tata Nacho. By Tata Nacho we have a dozen songs that all our parents know by heart because he wrote songs by the time our parents were falling in love with each other. I'm pretty sure more than one couple fell in love with the music of Tata Nacho. But now it's turn and it's time for Katia. We will be sharing lots of music today. I hope you enjoy that. And Katia has a good number, a very interesting selection for us as well. So Katia, what would you like to start with?
I'm going to start with Ojos Tapatíos, and it refers to the beauty of the eyes of the women from this part of Mexico.
Yeah.
These ladies are famous because of their beauty, and this song is specifically singing about the beauty of their eyes. So I think it is a so much happier song than yours.
By far, of
And
course, by
it is
far.
a beautiful piece of music by Fernando Mendes.
Let's listen to it.
No hay ojos más lindos en la tierra mía que los negros ojos de la tapatía, miradas que matan, dolientes pupilas, noches cuando
such a beautiful song. I can perfectly picture somebody bringing the serenade to her beloved one, paying to the mariachis. I think that by at this time people know what the mariachi is, a very traditional type of music. Uh, um and I know that there is a good number of music like México Lindo y Querido and many other songs that are sung by mariachi. And the one that you shared is really, really beautiful. I wanted to share with people that I have like 50 songs that I wanted to share today, but I had to narrow it down to much fewer. But on your side, Katia, what was your criteria to select what songs you wanted to share today?
Um, well, it was a really hard mission just to select some of my beloved Mexican songs. But especially, for example, in this case, about Ojos Tapatíos, I choose this one because it is part of my first concert. Oh my God, like 10,000 years ago. It was one of the first pieces of music that I started to work on. And I think that I love the part where it paints a landscape of a garden, plenty of smelling flowers, and it has to be a beautiful night. So I think it is not not a silly or a cursi song, but it's quite romantic,
Well,
and that's why I love it.
well, Mexicans sometimes find it difficult to separate cursi or cheesy from love. We have
Yeah.
this tendency to have to put so much honey in our lyrics. So that's the case for us. And if you allow me, I would like to share next the first, yeah, the very first song that I sang in front of an audience. My memories are that I did it so horribly, really so horribly. This was the thing. The auditorium was had not very good acoustics, so all I could hear was my voice. I couldn't hear the instruments of the that were accompanying me. So I saw them playing, but I really couldn't tell where they were standing. So I pretty much went with the notes that I wanted to go for. I noticed that my music professor was trying to follow me, but I remember his eyes of desperation, of like, what is this guy doing? But back to those days, I recall that horrible part of my past. I really enjoyed keeping the notes much higher and much longer than needed. The things that I criticize now, I did a lot when I was young. And that was the case for this one. And the first time that I heard it was in the beautiful voice of Fernando De La Mora. If you have ever heard Fernando De La Mora's voice, is just, besides having excellent high notes, the color of Fernando De La Mora is wow. I really wanted to have a voice as beautiful as Fernando's. Of course, I don't have it. Very few tenors are lucky enough to have those beautiful instruments. That is the case of Fernando. And enjoying his music and his style, he or the arrangements of at least of the version that I learned is very different from what we are going to hear now. The piano accompaniment is much more in the style of Maestro Jorge del Moral, the composer of this beautiful song, than to what Fernando de la Mora did in the 90s. But Fernando de la Mora's version, I still really, really love a lot. I will try to adhere to what is written, but I am pretty sure that I will do what I shouldn't be doing, that is to keep notes for much longer. So it is pretty likely that I will mess up with the accompaniment at some point because most likely I will not do what is written because I still enjoy what Fernando did. This beautiful,
But you can handle this kind of music a little bit, so
yeah, somehow.
we'll forgive you.
Thank you for that. And the song is called Besos Robados, or some people call it Bésame cuando muera la tarde. And it tells the story of I'm going to steal you a kiss. You know, the emotion that a lover has for stealing a kiss from her beloved one is what this story is about. I hope you will all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it learning it a good number of years already.
Un suspiro, una mirada, dos manos que enlazadas están, una pregunta enamorada, los labios solamente amor dirán, y en una fiebre de loca pasión, un beso ardiente mi boca sintió, beso robado, beso de amor, bésame con un beso robado, porque son los que saben mejor. Bésame, que al besar me has dejado un perfume de nardos y un romance de amor. Bésame, que tus besos me han hecho que se agita en mi pecho con locura el amor. Bésame con un beso robado, porque son los que saben mejor. Bésame, que al besar me has dejado un perfume de nardos y un romance de amor. Que tus besos me han hecho que se quita en mi pecho con locura el amor.
So this was this beautiful song, Bésame con un beso robado, que al mirar me has dejado un perfume de nardos y un romance de amor, which is an absolute poem, in Spanish at least. It is an absolute poem, the way Maestro Jorge del Moral wrote. And by the way, his style is very difficult to sing. He has a very particular way of working with the musical phrases and the way he works with how the voice must fit into the rhythm and the style of his music. So for me, singing Jorge del Moral is difficult now. Back in those days, I thought it was easy. With the mess that I did, it was easy. Now that I studied with much more seriously, I find that his writing is beautiful but extremely complicated. Okay, but now let's move on with what Katia has in room for us next. What is it going to be?
I'm about to sing Lamento Gitano. It would be translated as Gypsy Lament. I think it is a very interesting song because it reminds me to Carmen, Gypsy ladies are often seen as very passionate women, but not like very loyal persons. So we usually think about gypsy girls as um, flirty girls, and not it's not the idea of true and deep love. It's like very hot and intense, but not very real, perhaps.
And it's also interesting to mention that this song is a little different. It is part of Maria Grever's catalog but this one is very interesting. And now that you mentioned, it was a perfect match because right after yours, I also have a Maria Grever's composition that is also a little different from the main catalog of Júrame and Muñequita Linda.
Yeah.
But Lamento Gitano, going back to your song, is a song that I have wanted to study for a good number of years already. But I need to prepare because, from my perspective, there is so much passion in this song that you really need to be careful of not being so carried away because it really is. Maria Grever put all passion into that song.
Yeah,
And this is
that's
what
right.
we are about to hear. So let's get ready for
I hope
this
so.
beautiful song.
Yo no sé por qué he nacido, ni crecido junto al llanto, ni porque te he conocido, ni porque te quiero tanto. Hasta en mi sueño de niño soñó la mente loca que tu cariño era mío y los besos de tu boca. Gitana, mujer extraña, de mala entraña, que se me fue destrozándome la vida. Sin su amor me moriré. Gitana.
I really cannot describe for how long I have wanted to sing this song. I think that's going to be one of my objectives before the end years because I have only heard it. How can I say? I haven't really studied it because what I was telling you earlier, when I notice that a song has this level of passion, I really try to be careful before approaching it, so that I don't
Yes.
mess up with it. Because this part when it says "Gitana, gitana mia," you know that is so intense. People may
Yeah.
not understand it when they just hear it, but try to do it yourselves, and you will notice that it is. I really don't know what Maria Grever had in her veins, but it is just amazing.
I don't know. She has very, very dramatic songs. And it's curious that some songs are written as sung by a guy. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is something that I mentioned when I was working on the playlist of the 50 music postcards. In one way, we have her style of writing. Let's remember that she lived in days when there were the female composers were basically none. Female composers had no room in the composition itself. And
Yeah.
in one hand, in the other hand, most of singers also were male. So in many of them, she was forced to change the gender of the singer so that those great singers would approach the song easily. That is also the case for Pura and many others. The whole biography of Maria Grever is very interesting, which that is the reason why I built a complete program on Maria Grever, and that's how I fell in love with her and learned and discovered many songs. And that is the case for another very, very, very passionate song that is called Porcinotte Welbeck. If I never may see you again. This one carries me also. I also had to think about it a good number of weeks before trying to sing it, because I remember that for the main part you will notice that I try to make more legato than written, because for me it makes more sense. But even working with the legato, it is very difficult to try to refrain from the absolute passion that Maria Grever wrote in that song. So let's go for Por si no te vuelvo a ver.
No sé si al alejarme me enloquece y por eso habré venido por un último adiós. Yo no quiero con ello entristecerte, pues sé que es un martirio para los dos. He venido a decirte únicamente que aunque viva muy lejos, jamás te olvidaré, que tu imagen se ha grabado en mi mente y que a cual hostia santa te adoraré. Tú, la de los ojazos negros, la de boca tan bonita, la de tan chiquito pie. Tú, la que eres tan orgullosa por saber que eres hermosa, no me dejes de querer. Tú, la que al hablar tiene el dejo de la tierra que me alejo para quizás no volver. Deja que con ilusión loca te dé un beso en esa boca, por si no te vuelvo a ver. En el fondo de mi alma he levantado un castillo de amores tan solo para ti. Es un sueño que he visto realizado y ahora todo mi anhelo es verte allí. Mas si acaso el destino nos separa y tu corazón cambiara de modo de sentir, el castillo de amor que he levantado me servirá de albergue para los ojazos negros, la de boca tan bonita, la de tan chiquito pie. Tú, la que es tan orgullosa por saber que es hermosa, no me dejes de querer. Tú, la que al hablar tiene el dejo de la tierra que me alejo para quizás no volver. Deja que con ilusión loca te dé un beso en esa boca, por si no te vuelvo a ver.
So I think you have to agree that this is a song with so much passion. How it goes up, then it goes down. Que por si no te vuelvo a ver, which goes very quiet in the rapping, while in the middle there is this explosion of this woman who having those beautiful eyes doesn't even pay attention to me. That is so very Latin and Mexican as well. But next, I think, Katia, that it is time for the surprise.
Okay, we will never be ready for this, but let's do it.
Yeah, please share with people what we would like to do next.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Come on, don't be like that.
Okay, we are going to sing Morir por tu amor, to die for your love, by Belisario de Jesus García. It is I don't know how to say this. We will try to sing it as a duet. Let's consider that we are far away, that technology is helping, but probably not enough to make us sing at the same time as it should be. But I think it is a very beautiful song too. We're singing a lot about love and the disgrace of not being loved in return,
And now, also,
goodbyes and all that stuff.
please let me share an anecdote for this song. And the special thing about this anecdote is that it is about a Katia's presentation that I had the opportunity of attending. It was a good number of years ago when Katia was starting her career that she invited me to attend one of her presentations. If I remember well, it was at the University at the UPAEP. It was a museum, if I remember well, and she had a very heavy recital. 10, 15 numbers, I don't remember. She sang and sang and
Yeah,
sang.
yeah, 15 about, yeah.
She kept singing,
Wow.
singing forever. And one thing,
I was saying stupid and brave. Not anymore.
but the thing that I wanted to share with you, and this is something that people may not be very familiar with. Uh, Sometimes in the concerts, in the recitals or presentations, it takes time for the public to, like to be on the same frequency as the singer. But there is some point during those songs or arias that suddenly this connection flows. And this was the case for Morir por tu amor.
Yeah.
Katia had already sung 4 or 5 songs, and then she announced Morir por tu amor, and people were, I remember, I'm not sure if she noticed, but even people were humming the melody along with her. I recall how it impacted me, how the public connected with her. This is an anecdote or something that I never really told her, but I was really impressed about how she managed to connect with the public that day. And it was this song that was a point that really made people feel so enthusiastic throughout that presentation. And that's what we are going to be doing today. As when we improvise, please, people, keep in mind this is an improvisation because we have never tried this one before together. We are a good.
Please forgive us and keep joining us after this.
But we will do it with much of love. This has the composition of a waltz, so you have to picture this song as aristocratic people in beautiful bourgeois environment and dancing by the piano with this beautiful melody. I am going to play only the beginning of the music because you know that I like to sing it with music, but then I will stop it, not because I don't want to sing it with the music, but because Katia will not be able to follow the same rhythm of the melody because of the delay in the electronic communications. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
So, the beautiful Mariel Portomor by Maestro Belisario de Jesús García.
Morir por tu amor, que dicha de ser, morir por tus ojos divinos, que son la expresión del placer, morir sí, morir. Canta el ruiseñor, que todo en la vida es amor, amor, amor.
Cantar, 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 que al cabo la vida es muy corta. Reír, 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 que al cabo la vida está loca. Amor, 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 palabra que encierra un destino. Tu nombre sacrosanto, porque en ti solo existe el dolor. Cantar,
Cantar, cantar, cantar,
que al
que al cabo
cabo
la
la
vida
vida
es
es
muy
muy corta.
corta.
Reír,
Reír, reír, reír, reír,
que
que
al
al
cabo
cabo la
la vida
vida
está
está
loca.
loca.
Amor,
Amor, amor, amor,
amor,
amor,
palabra
palabra
que
que
encierra
encierra un
un destino.
destino. Tu
Tu nombre
nombre
es sacrosanto,
sacrosanto,
porque
porque
en
en
ti
ti
solo
siempre
existe
existe el
dolor.
dolor.
I'm not really sure how it went because the volume and the return of your voice I really couldn't hear a lot.
Oh my God.
The phrases that I caught, I tried to match yours. I hope
Oh, sorry.
you'll like this song. We really, 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 really love this Mexican waltz. And who is next? Is it you, Katia, or is that me?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm ready.
I prefer that. Let's go for your song. Which one is going to be?
Um, Adiós, golondrina.
Another very beautiful song. Tell us a little about it.
Yes. As a coloratura soprano, I used to sing about birds, and I often imitate them in some songs. There are parts where sopranos must sing as the bird in question. And it's not the case because you are not singing as a golondrina, but it's about a lady that leaves the nest, the house probably, or the relationship, or the family, or I don't know, but she is leaving this guy behind, and he's suffering a lot.
And I think that this song, I must have. I think that whenever people get drunk, like to listen to this song.
Probably, I
Oh,
don't know. I haven't been drunk in my entire life.
but I'm pretty sure that our grandparents did.
Probably.
But back in those days. Okay, let's go for that beautiful song.
Okay. Golondrina que abandonas el nido sin saber hacia dónde tú vas. No sé si es que buscas olvido. No sé si es que vuelvas jamás a mí, golondrina, que te vas de mi pecho, porque en él no encontraste calor. Tal vez al hallar mi recuerdo sabrás que lloré por tu adiós. Golondrina que abandonas el nido sin saber hacia dónde tú vas. No sé si es que buscas olvido. No sé si es que vuelvas jamás a mí, golondrina, que te vas de mi pecho, porque en él no encontraste calor. Tal vez al hallar mi recuerdo sabrás que lloré por tu adiós. Adiós, golondrina, adiós.
That song is somehow sad, but sad in a nice way. I mean, not like Borachita, that's really
Oh no,
cruel
that's
stuff.
sad and dramatic and
Yeah,
terrible.
this one is like if sadness can be beautiful, I would say that could be the case for Adios Golondrina.
Yeah.
And you will not believe me, but time flies and we are approaching the hour of this program. So I think there is time only for two more songs left, which is very unfortunate because I still have three more songs ready for today. So
Oops.
we'll have to leave someone out, and we will let Katia choose. I have Tengo Nostalgia de Ti by Maestro Tata Nacho again, and I have two songs by Lara. Remember that we had mentioned in the past that most of them are credited to Agustin Lara, while some people who have investigated, researched, think that in fact it was his sister Teresa Lara who actually wrote them. So I have Veracruz and I have Novillero. Which one do you choose?
Um, I think that I will choose Lara because we already have listened something by Tata Nacho, so I preferred Al Maestro Lara. And I think that I will choose Veracruz because that's my mother's place.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And talking a little about Veracruz, people from Veracruz are amazingly joyful. Of course, people from Cordoba and Jalapa maybe not because they live in much colder places. But for the rest of Veracruz, that the most important cities are by the Gulf of Mexico. People from Veracruz are cheerful, loud, telling jokes all the time, very happy about life. So Veracruzanos in Mexico are very well known for all that. And now talking about Veracruz, it is very interesting because the score that I have shows on the front page letra y música de Agustín Lara, but in the inside, as the score starts, it says música y letra de María Teresa Lara. If you ask me,
Oh,
I feel this was written by hers. I think it was written by Teresa. I really,
I think
I really cannot explain it, but Novillero and Veracruz, when you sing them, you don't feel Agustin in there. I feel like the vein of a woman, a much more delicate character painted there. The transitions between the phrases much more careful. That is not the way I picture Agustin Lara. I really feel these two feel, and I know that there is a good number of investigators who are about to jump and bite my throat for saying that. But if that is the case, I really feel that these two were written by hers because I feel these ones are different to the rest of the repertory of Agustin Lara.
yeah,
Be,
it makes sense.
and if you agree, let's go for Veracruz, which has a very interesting rhythm, which not all opera singers can capture because operatic voices are way too loud and too wide. And this one has to be more rhythmic, more like lovely, more like dancing, more like the character of people of Veracruz.
Yo nací con la lona de plata y nací con alma de pirata. Yo he nacido rumbero y jarocho trovador de veras y me fui nido las olas del mar. Veracruz, pedacito de patria que sabes sufrir y cantar. Veracruz, son tus noches diluvio de estrellas, palmera y mujer. Veracruz, vive en mi ser. Algún día hasta tus playas lejanas tendré que volver. Veracruz, rinconcito donde hacen su nido las olas del mar. Veracruz, pedacito de patria que sabes sufrir y cantar. Veracruz, son tus noches diluvio de estrellas, palmera y mujer. Veracruz, vive en mi ser. Algún día hasta tus playas lejanas tendré que volver.
Well, that was the very lovely Veracruz, Rinconcito, donde hacen su nido las olas del mar. A very beautiful description of what happens by the beaches of Veracruz, this place that we all Mexicans like so very much. Really, the character, the type of personality of people from Veracruz is just amazing. Good. Let's go for our final song. Let's take a couple of minutes to thank people again for having been following us. Of course, here in YouTube, thank you very much. Next week I will mention the countries from who have been watching us on YouTube. Today we mentioned people following us in the podcast, which is very different to the audience in YouTube for I don't know what reason, but really, really, really thank you very much. And I think one way to show you our appreciation is to share with you the music or part of the music that defines us as Mexicans. Those would be my wrapping words. What would be yours, Katia?
Yes, I think, like I said at the first part of the program, that we are sharing this, that is part of our culture, of our music, of our lives, and it's a gift for all of you as just a little part of our gratitude for sharing your time with us and sharing this music. Thank you.
Thank you. What will be your last song?
We will be finishing with Cuando me vaya, when I leave.
That is also a very beautiful song by
Yes, it has
Maria
the word.
Grever. Yeah. Cuando me vaya, daré de dará. So, if you're about to say your lover, when I leave, you will understand what you're losing. That will
Yeah,
happen when I leave.
and
But
it usually happens.
and it
We don't
usually
know what
happens.
we have until we see it lost.
And she has another song that could be like the other side of the story because here she says "Cuando me vaya," when I will leave you. Uh, but there is another song that tells the story of "Cuando vuelva a tu lado," so when I am coming back.
Mm.
One song when I'm
Yeah,
leaving you, and the other when I'm coming back. "Cuando vuelva a tu lado" is also
well,
very
we
beautiful.
can change his mind.
Yeah. Well, that's how
Things
our
happen.
toxic relationships go.
Yeah, but it happens.
So, With this very beautiful song, we are saying goodbye for today, and let's listen to Katya's rendition of this amazingly beautiful song.
Fuimos tontos los dos, yo en adorarte y tú en recompensarme con traición. Si me alejo de ti, es por complacerte, mas nunca dejaré de quererte. Cuando me vaya, por mí llorarás, y estando a solas, quizá te dirás que injustamente la hice sufrir. Si por mis celos sentía morir, cuando me vaya, tal vez pensarás que otros amores sabré conquistar. Dentro de tu alma quizás sentirás los mismos celos que me hiciste pasar. Cuando me vaya, sé que por mí llorarás. Cuando me vaya, por mí llorarás, y estando a solas, quizá te dirás que injustamente la hice sufrir. Si por mis celos sentía morir, cuando me vaya, tal vez pensarás que otro